It's the middle of the day. Nobody's wondering what I'm doing in the middle of the kitchen.
I live alone, and it's one of my favorite things about my life. So I want to talk about the joys of that. Unexpected joys. First, the atmosphere. You set the mood, you set the lighting, you set the temperature. You decide when to clean. If you want to leave stuff lying around, like I do, it's fine. You're not bothering anybody else. There's no uncomfortable silences, there's no angry silences. It's just you, and if you happen to be living with
Some four-legged family, sometimes they make noise, but that's okay because they're cute.
nobody's bad day walks through the door. And then there's the space. You can do with it whatever you like. I don't mean shoes. I mean you can decorate the way you like. You can spread your stuff out the way you like. You can arrange things the way you like. If you want to spend 2 days cooking in the kitchen so you can eat for a week, you can do that. Habits, preferences, schedules, it's entirely yours to control.
Is control the right word? Manage?
It's all you, baby. I guess what I'm trying to say is nobody's trying to cramp your space or
Leaving unwanted smells lying around, for example.
Another thing that people don't talk about is the money side of things. Like, often living alone is going to cost more money. But it can also save you money. When you share a home with anybody, a partner, housemates, family, your spending will adjust to accommodate them, whether that's getting takeout or having cleaners or anything else that you wouldn't necessarily pay for yourself. Some people maybe insist on having organic food or whatever, and maybe that's not your preference. Living alone, you eat what you want. If you want to make leftovers to save money, nobody's going to touch your leftovers. You're not trying to accommodate anybody else's taste or expectations or preferences, just your own. You get clear about what you actually want. This one took me by surprise. I think when you fully relax into your own life, you find out what really makes you happy. I actually really love living alone for the reasons I'm talking about in this video. Living with others can be very stressful. I know for me personally, I've been able to actually establish a bit of a movement practice in the morning. I wouldn't call it exercise or anything. I'm never going to be one of those CrossFit girlies, but just being able to exercise more in the morning means I can get on with my day. I'm happy with my progress and I seem to be sticking with it, which is not typical. Another joy about living alone is that you become very deliberate with your connections. I know that I've become very attached to my friendships, and even though I'm terrible about messaging people back, I'm sure everybody knows that I really enjoy spending time with them. I tell them when I do see them. When you're not spending time with people just because it's convenient, you can get more selective. By living alone, seeing other people means it's a bit of an effort. It does mean you have to make that effort, which can be a challenge. The bulk of my friends are in southern England. I have quite a few friends, though, that live much further away, like Australia and United States, Canada. But they all matter to me, and I will travel to see them.
That's how much they matter to me.
Autonomy over your own time is underrated. I value this one so much. You eat when you're hungry. You sleep when you're tired.
Nobody needs to know where you've been or where you're going.
You're a grown-ass adult. And once you get comfortable managing your own life, it becomes very hard to hand back a piece of that control to anybody else. I think socializing can be quite hard. You have to make that deliberate effort. And I know I've been trying out co-working spaces in the past. I've done like organized walks, or even just sitting in the cafe and sometimes chatting to people. But the other second thing is that once I do get myself out of the house, I'm just not great about striking up conversations. I am completely an introvert, so it probably bothers me less than maybe an extrovert would experience. They probably wouldn't have the exact problem either. I have an upcoming solo cruise, which will be interesting because it's going to be complete contrast to what I'm experiencing right now. This cruise is probably going to be overwhelming, but that's what my cabin is for. It's a place to retreat, my own space. I paid for it. I also want to be clear, I went through all of the possible housing options for myself in this video that I'll link in the description. And I did eventually land back on just house sitting full time because of all of the reasons I mentioned in this video. Subscribe if this type of content resonates with you, and hit like if this video wasn't a total waste of your time. I actually made another video about 6 months ago where I was feeling pretty down about the whole thing, so if you want to see the flip side, check out that video next. Bye!